I got it. It did work. It did work right. I don't know what count number it is, but Boogie with the Bull, Uncensored, Randy Rhodes, and I are here tonight. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. We podcasted everywhere. And if you want to come and join us, come on into the live chat, either on the YouTube channel or on my profile on Facebook, and Randy Rhodes, who do his co-hostly duties and send you the link. Otherwise, it's just going to be Randy Rhodes and I for an hour or so, like it normally is. Good evening, Doctor.
Hey, how you doing this evening?
I'm okay.
So, you never know what to talk about when you go on a show like this, because you don't know what the people are hoping to see or hear or whatever. So I got a little bit of a couple of different things.
Okay.
I want to first start out, and it seems shallow when you ask people to keep so and so in your prayers and thoughts because of some tragic event that took place. And most recently, it happened here close to home in York County, which is about 35, 40 minutes from where I live. Apparently, this individual on this farm, I don't know if he lived there or rented it or was hiding there, but he was on this farm, and this woman with children called in the police, said, "Hey, there's a guy out here. He has a weapon." So that's one narrative to the story. The other narrative of the story is that four sheriffs went to the farm with warrants. Okay. Now, usually sheriffs in our area are called upon either as a backup to the local police department or to serve eviction notices or bad news, your bank just closed on you, or something like that, right? Or landlord giving you 30 days to get the hell out of his house because you're 3 months behind on the payments. So I'm not sure which narrative is correct. Either way, when initially when the four sheriffs arrived, the individual was hiding in the cornfield, and he was wearing camouflage outfit, and he had a high-powered rifle of some sort. He just started shooting at him, and he took three down within the first few bullets. The other one was wounded. He called for backup. More police officers arrived. Two more get wounded. And here's where where the narrative gets a little foggy, is that there's one narrative that says that the individual shot and killed himself. And another narrative is that a police officer fired the bullet and killed the individual. Either way, he's dead. Three sheriff officers are dead. And the state police right now are having to pick up the territory for responding to police requirements. So no one at this point knows why he's being served, or if they were responding to the lady saying this person was on the property with a weapon. She was scared for her life, as well as did he kill himself or get killed. So that is still waiting to come out in the next few days. So. Once again, it's going to be the left is going to come out. Oh God, we need more gun control. We need more gun control. Blah 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 blah. Again,
more gun control.
Again, the guns aren't the ones killing the people. It's the guy pulling the trigger.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going to happen with that. The other thing I've been following pretty closely is this. Asteroid / spacecraft that's headed our way that should be arriving soon. There are a lot of scientists who are saying it is a spacecraft. They said that they took notice that from the last time they looked at it, it was so big, okay? But now it's almost twice the size that it was as what it was before. And they're saying that this whatever it is has the ability to uh, build on itself and make it bigger, and the lights will change the colors, and so forth. So, is it a spacecraft? I don't know. In a way, my childlike um, wishes of seeing aliens for the first time might come true. But at the same time, my adult mentality will say, "Holy shit, we might be their dinner." I don't know. Um, but
No, they're going to come and
yeah,
ask you to do
see if they're
their
related to humans.
genealogy.
Uh, and the other thing that I've been following is that um, uh, our military was tracing a spacecraft of an unusual shape that was flying extremely fast, erratically, things that our own airplanes cannot do. Okay. And
Mhm.
for whatever reason, they decided to shoot a missile at it. Now, once again, I'm thinking to myself, well, if it is an alien spacecraft, okay, it might have a mothership hanging around because maybe maybe it's just too small for great distances, so it has a mothership that it comes like an aircraft carrier. Uh, but why do we all of a
Mhm.
sudden we see something we don't recognize, don't I could not know what's about? We want to shoot the damn thing down. So they shot this missile at it. It was supposed to be a very powerful missile, and it hit you had the video because there's another aircraft doing the filming, and the missile hit the alien spacecraft and bounced the fuck off. It was flying, and it hit the rocket, hit it, poof, and it bounces off, and then three other parts come off of the main ship, which we thought initially they thought was debris from being hit by the missile, but the missile didn't explode, and yet the three other objects that came off were flying on their own, almost like they might have been like escape ship, like or emergency rescue, jump out and bail your ass out, or something like that. And the next thing you know, the ships and the three behind it just took off. Um, and the Congress, the Congressperson asked the military guy, so from what you've seen, what what do you think? He said it is indeed a alien spacecraft. And the congressperson came back and says, should we as a nation be concerned? He said, oh yeah, be concerned.
We should be concerned, but maybe we need to bring them down to the ground somewhere and talk to them, and not shoot at them because we don't know what they were here for. I mean, I'm starting to feel this all the way around on everything. We just need to sit and talk and find out why. Because it seems you talk bad about Charlie Kirk and you get in trouble. You talk good about Charlie Kirk and you get in trouble. You fire a rocket at a spaceship and George Jetson, it bounces off and comes back. Did you send somebody out?
Yeah, now I sent you the image, the video
okay.
of the ship.
All right, hold on. Let me go down here and over here, and do that.
Tonight, new never-before-seen video off the coast of Yemen showing a U.S. MQ-9 Reaper drone tracking a glowing orb as it flies over the water. Yep. Now watch closely as a different U.S. drone drops a Hellfire missile on that fast-moving orb. The missile appearing to bounce off the object, doing very little damage. The orb then zipping away unfazed. The video from October 2024 shown during a congressional hearing today on unexplained anomalous phenomena. That's the official name for UFOs.
Do you solemnly swear?
Several service members giving their own eyewitness accounts and reacting to that new video.
Does this video scare you guys? Yes or no?
Yes.
Wiggins?
Yes. Yes.
And there are big questions right now. Why was that missile fired? Did that object pose any risk? Or is there any other explanation out there? Gio Benitez, ABC News.
Yeah, exactly. Why the hell did we shoot a missile at to start with, it's like you saying, why do we try to communicate with it? Hey, talk to us. We're going to shoot your ass down.
Well, that's the thing. If Elon Musk manages to build something that can travel around space, they're going to blow us out of the sky. And they're probably going to blow us out of the sky. I don't understand why we can't just, ask questions. And if you need to shoot something down, then obviously you need to shoot something down. But I don't get it. We are at a point in our time where trillions or billions of dollars are coming into this country in tariffs. They're lowering the debt. They are helping build things in this country that will lead to them not paying tariffs. It's like we're good to go. It's like the only things that seem to be giving us trouble still are we haven't done squat at the border, really, to stop anybody. And we're shooting at people from other planets because we think they were a mistake or they didn't have to be here. Go ahead, Randy. How'd you feel? Oh.
I've always said that President Trump wants would love to have the White House like royalty, like kings and queens and so forth. And the sad thing is that England has been in existence for thousands of years, and of course they've over the course of battles and so forth have stolen, if you will, money and gold and so forth from various countries that they invaded over the years.
Yep.
And they, I don't know who built their castles and so forth, but they have many castles and palaces and other very majestic buildings. And we have, I hate to say it, a very boring White House, And I can see, I can see why, in some way, and I'm speaking from me, so I don't know if this what I'm going to say is actually how he feels, but for me as a leader of a country, I would feel embarrassed, because most of the people who come to visit him have castles and palaces of their own, and here we have this White House. And I know he's trying to trim it up. I know he's trying to bring in some gold and some tinsel and stuff like that to make it look better. But you know what happens in 3 years? He leaves and all the gold and glitter goes with him, and we're back to a more
I don't think he's going to do that. I mean, they're sitting on. I mean, they broke ground over the Rose Garden to build the new event space that they have wanted for 150 years and couldn't find the money. And, he said, I'll kick in. I got some friends that will kick in. It's not anything like you think they're buying my time or whatever. It's just people that agree that we need to spruce this place up a bit, like you said, and be able to do things in a grand style. I'm not taking it with me when I leave. It's
it may not be a point of him. It may not be a point of when he leaves, he's going to take his gold and go home. I'm thinking that perhaps whoever comes in after him may not want it, and they want to make it the way they want it. And out goes all the gold and glitter.
Okay, but they get a right to do that. And if they're going to do that, I hope the first lady who does that calls him up and says,
"Hey,
I'm going to change I'm going to change the look of the White House because it's my house for the next 4 years. So, come with me, and
Take out what you want.
and take out what you want because it's yours. Well,
but
then again, you have to look at who paid for it.
Right.
If he used the White House budget money, no, it
Right.
belongs
It has
to
to stay-
us,
Yeah,
and it stays there.
No, it'll go into a closet somewhere.
Well,
But you have it's sad because here you have these other governments across the world who they've been in power like the royalty of England. They've been in power for thousands of years, and that's the way it's going to be unless they get assassinated and the English people don't want no more kings and queens. But and of course the poor people, the king and queen, they don't have access to the money like they did before. They're on a state, almost like a state federal money they get every month, like a poor folks check, a stipend or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah,
and so they don't have enough money to keep up on the repairs, upkeep of the building because they're old, so they need upgrade. So
sell off the ones you don't use,
or open them up for weddings and banquets.
I forget which family it was. I think it was the Vanderbilts and their mansion down in Rhode Island, down in Newport, Rhode Island. The last person to get it could not afford to do the keep up on it. It wasn't the Vanderbilts, but it was another big name, but they just couldn't afford to do it. And they finally gave it to the city of Newport and said, it's my gift to you. Do whatever you wish with it, but I can't afford to keep it. And I don't, I'm living in like the smallest room because it was mine in the family, and I parked my Honda around the back where nobody sees it because that's the car. That's the car that I have.
In a way, it's sad. A family has access, ownership to all these castles and so forth, and they no longer have the power and the means to keep them, and they have to open them up for tourists and so forth. It's sad when you think about it.
It is sad, but who needs a 150 room castle when there's only two of you living in it, him and Camilla? And half the time it's empty because he's in all the other ones that he has, or his favorites that he has. Because remember, he grew up as a prince, so he's got his favorites. And she wants everything, so she wants to go see them all. But, it's like you said, if you can't afford to... maybe we should do music trivia one night and give them away. Name that castle in 3 notes and you can have it.
There you go. So folks gave Trump hell for the big military parade that he did. But he only did it because of, like I said, when he goes to visit other countries, they always have this big blown out, affair of giving him, all the royal trappings.
It's an honor to see it.
Right. So here we have once again he trapped an unprecedented second invitation back to the White House. But now that I think about it, I'm thinking that maybe the only reason why he got a second callback is because he got elected twice. And he's a new president, so they have to do the royal thing and invite the president to the visit the castle. So here he is arriving now. I want you to watch this video because apparently Trump broke protocol, which got the monarch very upset. See if you can see what he did. Okay.
Okay. He went up.
Next up, the much anticipated carriage procession around the grounds of the Windsor estate, all kept, of course, behind that ring of steel that has been built up around the royal residence, especially for this visit. The national anthem played as the carriages drew up to the castle. To the sound of the American national anthem, President Trump once again joined the King and Queen on stage.
Get ready.
Okay.
Then, at the invitation of King Charles, President Trump was offered the opportunity to inspect the Guard of Honor.
A stick of butter a day.
Okay.
He broke it at the end when he went up to the military person because he cut the king out of that moment. But he also broke it he was next to William, and he kind of shrugged off William, but he did walk behind the king, which is what he's supposed to do. So I know you're chomping at the bit. You tell me when he broke it.
He broke the protocol when he talked to the military man next to him. And even after the king said to Trump, "We don't talk to the officers," he kept talking to the soldier.
That's not always true, because there are videos of the Queen, his mother.
Well, yeah.
Queen Elizabeth doing her guard checks every once in a while and basically sharing laughs.
Yeah.
Picking one out and sharing laughs with, or seeing one that she knew from when he was a baby.
Yeah.
And just, and Trump does that when he leaves
George, he just likes talking to people.
Well, he does. He goes up and he talks to all of them, and he should. Granted, he doesn't have enough time to listen to all of their complaints, and hopefully it's not all complaints, but that Air Force short lady, I don't know her name, seems to be always there. He always seems to recognize her, but he talked to another one, a gentleman who was there the first time. And hey, you got to do that. I mean, you're their boss. You gotta.
Yeah, we were very fortunate. My dad was stationed in England when Elizabeth, at that point she was Princess Elizabeth, was being brought in and ordained as the Queen of England.
Okay.
And we were able to watch that on TV.
Cool.
And I'm going to tell you what that was. Many hours of watching TV, but it was well worth it. Yeah. Oh my God.
Yep.
It really was.
And we're going to see it again because we don't really know the health status of King Charles because, aside from hearing every other day that he died and the BBC post that keeps going around Facebook and Threads that he passed away, I don't think there is good feeling between him and William. I don't know why. But it seems like he doesn't necessarily mean to snub William, but he does. There's a video that shows him arriving, I guess it is at night, and William shakes his hand, and you see him kind of like this as he's walking away, trying to walk away from William. And I mean, no, you just don't do that. I mean, plus, if I was the king somewhere, people would love coming up and talking to me.
Yeah.
I'd love being able to talk to them. I always said that I can't be the Pope because I'm Jewish, but they would like me being the Pope because I'd want to get off of the Pope mobile and go into the crowd and shake hands and kiss babies.
Yeah,
Well, not necessarily kiss babies, because everybody seems to get in trouble for
just keep your eye on the green room. I just sent Ray.
doing it.
I just sent
the
Ray an
lady-
invite.
I drove a lady to a outdoor prayer service that Cardinal Law was doing years before he got into trouble, and he came up because he knew the lady, and he blessed the lady, and then he looked at me and said, "Can I bless you too?" And I said, "You can, but I'm Jewish." And he said, "It doesn't matter. You're God's child." And he blessed me. And
That's cool.
you just got to be that way. I mean,
Yeah.
you can be, I don't know, like let's say Hillary Clinton, for example. You be with your big security entourage and get pushed into your van and drive away, but you just gotta be with the people that you
So before Ray
got
jumps
elected you.
before Ray jumps in, I want to show this one last video because he's gonna want to talk. How he's building that banquet room for future.
Yeah.
You gotta see this. I mean, this we'll never have anything like this, but
We won't. But for 150 years, this is what they've wanted.
Just watch out for Ray when he shows up.
Okay.
Oh, wrong video. That's him seeing all their wealthy stuff. Hang on a second. There we go.
Okay. We're gonna change. Hang on. How the hell you talk to the last person at the other end of the table?
Right, the two-way radio system.
Yeah.
This is like a 20-second video. I want to get that. It's a big room, and they're going to walk in for days. I'm sorry, but I understand what you're saying. William Rayfield, or Ray Feggins, or just Ray, or Ray, as he's been called before, has joined us, and now he's sitting in his chair. So I hope you're making progress with your studio, or you have finished it, or...
No, I'm just waiting for some internet access.
Oh, okay.
How are you gentlemen this evening?
Good.
He has sore throat.
No, I actually had a long day today. A long day, and feeling kind of perturbed, but that's okay.
What are you perturbed about?
I
don't mean it ruefully. I just, because it seemed like it was one of those days, really.
Just a whole lot of everything.
Okay.
And I'm still, I'm going to be who I'm going to be. The way I was raised, if your kids did something bad, you just didn't take their side because they were your kids.
No.
you still held them accountable. They they still got the punishment,
Yep.
should I say, whatever. And it seems that I was on hopping around social media here earlier today and got into a couple of altercations with some people that I thought were followers,
Yep.
because it seems that because I support Donald Trump, I somehow have to be a minion. I'm not supposed to want answers. I'm not supposed to ask questions. I'm just supposed to be like, follow Donald Trump. Well, that's not me. That's not what the lab is all about. I take no sides
We have
in the issue when it comes to my country.
I think we have Democrats, and that's what they're for, because they follow everything on their side, and they follow what they're told to follow. And it's don't think about it, just do it. And
right. Well, let me ask you gentlemen a question.
Give me a chance to talk.
Okay.
Let me ask you gentlemen a question. Have y'all heard, give me some names of people that is on the Epstein list.
Oh, hang on. Hang on.
Well, people have said that Trump is on the list.
Not what
but I've even said to them, you can be on the list and not be in trouble.
No, Dave.
Okay, go ahead.
Dave, I've asked, have any of you gentlemen seen a list? Have y'all
Yes.
been on the dark web? Have you seen any
I have-
It's just a straight question.
I haven't seen the whole
right
thing.
now.
Okay, hold on a second.
Okay.
Randy. I'll be real brief on this. I haven't seen the list, but I understand that Prince Andrew from Great Britain is on the list. And when Queen Elizabeth was alive, she defrocked him and didn't want anything to do with him because he was on the list. So that's the only one that I know is actually on the list. The Trump thing, I got into a fight with a person and I said, you can be on that list or be in those files for ever having a casual one-on-one conversation with him about anything. So until you see, you don't know. So,
I got the.
That was just me.
My friend who's an author, he wrote out a book called Chemtrails over Dixie. It's more of a political book. Has different chapters, but in the one chapter, he has the entire list of the Epstein people.
Okay.
Now, these are people that just do we know how they were affiliated with, or?
I haven't read the book yet, so I don't know how, other than the fact that they were on the island or went to the island. So I don't know what affiliation that they did, if they participated. If you get my drift. But Bill Clinton's name is on.
Okay.
Bill Clinton went there 33 times.
Okay. I don't want to do a broadcast where we read the list.
Well, he asked a question. I just answered his question.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna say I don't want to be on a broadcast where we read the list off, only because I'm not ready to do that. There is a list. There are people on the list. I'm not giving anything to the people who want to know who's on the list. I just am not ready to do a broadcast because they're not here to defend themselves, and they may never be here to defend themselves. And to be honest with you, I personally think it's this. There are so many big names on that list that this country and several other countries around the world could be put in a bad position. And what happens then, I don't know. It isn't going to do us any good to say that, he was on the list, he was on the island, she was on the list, she was on the island, because people on the island said that they never saw Donald Trump do anything wrong. That the answer that they really want isn't who all these other people were that were on the island. They want proof that says Trump was there. That seems to be all that they are concerned with. Everybody knew him. Everybody used his plane, and just because you use his plane doesn't mean that you were on the island. That's where I was. That's where I am. I'm sorry that Ray got mad and boogied off, but
Well, he said he was having internet issues too,
I understand that.
So he might not bounce off because
he might have had internet problems. But where I am at is it's not my place on a Boogie with the Bull broadcast to at this time sit here and release the list. I haven't seen the list, so I don't even know who is on it and who isn't. I want to see the list first before we start talking about who is on it and all that, because you don't see anybody else talking about the list either, because they're all claiming that they haven't seen the list either. And then the big question is going to be, how did you get the list? Because I haven't been able to get the list. And
well, Randy has the list.
Okay. Then Randy can do a broadcast where Randy names everybody on the list, if that's what he's going to do, and I'm sure he'll probably ask you to be on.
No, I just wanted to know if anybody's seen the list.
Okay,
that's
all right, okay. I misunderstood.
So the list is out there. I just want to get a hold of it, and I'm trying to figure out.
Well,
somebody told me earlier, because I was on somebody's stuff, they told me to go do a deep dive in the deep dark web.
Right. Well, from what I understand, if you listen to Kash Patel's recent hearing with Senator Grassley and his commission, they are dealing with information that the Democrats got in 2006, 2007, and I believe in 2008. They had warrants that were written out and ready to go, and they didn't serve them. Why? That's what Kash said. Why? So he's having to go after and be the fall guy now because he's got active investigations going on through the FBI. But you know what? The Democrats got us into this. The Democrats should get us out of this. If you're on the list, maybe you shouldn't say, "Hey, I'm on the list."
We'll move
and plead
on
your cause
from that segment. That's got me perturbed. Another thing that's got me perturbed. Now, I'm not getting. Well, maybe I am getting on the administration a little bit, or a lot. But I am tired of listening to these politicians on the right talk about all the underhanded, illegal shit that these damn people have done, and nobody's being held accountable. Just take, for instance, the go back and forth between Kash Patel and Adam Schiff. Well, Kash Patel, if he did all the shit that you're saying he did, get your ass up out that chair, call the damn master at arms, lock his ass up. What are we doing here? You picked the wrong one. Because I take no sides and I pull no punches.
Well, no, but I think they are playing a game with us. And the game is, like I said to you the other day, maybe they have hearings where one acts like he wants to slap the other one senseless, jump out of his chair and do whatever, throw the cuffs on him. And when it's done and the cameras are turned off, do they shake each other's hand and go have a beer?
This is like the DA and the judge and the prosecuting attorney. But I'm telling you one thing. I am not the one that you tell you're going to do something and then you turn around and something else is done. Listen, I don't know what it's going to take or how long it's going to take, but I want to see somebody held accountable. Grab some low-hanging fruit. Do something to show me that, you know what? Okay, somebody's going to be accountable. Make somebody turn on somebody. Do something.
I want to see that happen, but I think America wants to see the big people get busted first and have them list all of the lower people and they get busted. And unfortunately, that's not how it works. If you have information and you want to purge your soul and list everybody, then yeah, you should get arrested or get a
There's
hearing.
nothing. Look,
Go ahead.
for years, you people out there in the world, along with myself, we have witnessed what has taken place. They have told us
Yep.
what has taken place. What the problem is? What the problem is? It ain't no worse than the guy who shot Charlie Kirk or attempted to assassinate President Trump. Did they wait? Oh, we don't know. We got
No.
you say you got to all the whole time.
Well,
Listen, I'm to the point where did you gaslight America to get elected?
Right.
Because you promised some shit that I was looking forward to seeing. Now, yeah, I'm one to play the long game, but damn it, before I even get into that, about this Charlie Kirk shooting,
okay.
do you know how many individual, independent journalists, podcasters have broken this story apart to where it makes absolutely no sense whatsoever?
They've I know that several that have said there's no way that guy, that the gunman, Robinson or Robertson, whatever his name is, Tyler, there's no way that Tyler could have been there with that gun and did it himself. They've said it had to be either someone else shooting at the same time. There had to be someone standing near him. The guy that looked like he had a gun.
All of that's been
or
debunked by
something. I
experts
know.
on YouTube.
Okay.
Because even
but
like
there-
they say, even
but-
if somebody was in the crowd and they used a silencer,
Oh, did you freeze?
Yeah, you did.
it's not
Okay.
that. It's okay. I'm gonna give you one example. They're
Okay.
telling us that he disassembled the shotgun on the roof. They're literally telling us that now because now they say there's a screwdriver was found up there. So he's going to take the gun, but he's going to leave the screwdriver. That's one. Second, when they show us the gun in the box, the gun is then assembled. So you mean to tell me this young man had the wits to disassemble? First of all, he had enough time after the shot to disassemble it, run across the roof, which nobody in all the footage has seen, no long barrel, coming off the roof,
Right.
no visible long barrel. So that tells a common sense person it should have been left on the roof. But we're just going to take it to like they say, he broke it apart and took it with him. But the picture you shows it put
Right.
together. So you mean
That
to
he
tell me
couldn't have
y'all
broken it
tampered
apart.
with one of the most important pieces of evidence in American history and put it back together and took a picture of it?
I've seen videos from people on our side that have military experience and said there is no way he could have gotten that thing apart because the Mauser, that the gun that he used, I guess, is called the Mauser, or the triggers. I mean, the barrel is called the Mauser, and they have all. No way in the amount of time he had to get that apart, whether or not it was in his pants or whatever. He did not have enough time to get that thing apart and get out of there. And maybe if he did, they could have handed it to him, somehow as he was leaving, and he had enough time maybe to put it back together because he was away for hours before and
With
days.
that being said, once I realize I'm being misled in one area, it makes me think about other areas. Because if you're going to lead me in one area, what's going to make me think you're not going to lead me astray in other areas? Because we us independent journalists and podcasters, we're no different than the mainstream
No,
media people. So
no.
why aren't they asking the same questions on their news stations that we're asking? Why are they continuing to push the narrative and not ask
Oh,
any
well,
questions? So I put up a
mainstream media is
post
going to
today.
always push what they're told to push.
So it looks like either my president is willfully doing this in order to have a gateway to something bigger, or we've just been deceived by the right. They've just Trojan horsed us. So I'm either in two places right now. Either this is for something bigger. He just labeled Antifa a terrorist organization,
Right.
which means patriots, when you're out there marching, when whatever goes whatever, I very doubt you're gonna see guys in skinny jeans wrapped in all black with, because they're now terrorists, and we know what Donald Trump does with terrorists. I think a lot of young Americans are about to experience what the J6ers and myself experienced with the FBI knocking on your door. Because when he labels you a terrorist, he doesn't just sit back and wait for you to come to him.
But it's also, like you said, you bring up the J6ers. They all got, the committee all got preemptive pardons from somebody because it turns out that I believe they were all electric
But I gotta
auto
remember, we
pen
got a long
signed.
way to go.
I know, but theirs were all auto pen signed, which an auto pen can't be used on, so it doesn't matter even if Biden used it. But and now there it looks like those pardons are not going to come back to those people, so it's going to be.
I'm at the point. I'm at the point. I'll believe it when I see it, Dave.
Right.
It's a shame that we've been hearing, and I hear your frustrations, and I've been saying this, and gee, it sounds like you're talking a little bit like me now. Well, for years and years, and various administrations, we've been hearing about how they get the goods on the one side or the other side, and now that Trump's back in for a second term, they have all this evidence on top of the evidence they had before against the Democrats in the White House, and it's like you said, they're still in their damn jobs, and here they are, they're bringing Bondi in, they're bringing in Patel and so forth, and Democrats are ripping them apart, trying to get them to break or cry or where I don't know, and here they are, they're trying to say, well, you're dirty as well. And they try to bring out the evidence, they don't want to hear it. I don't know what it's going to take for someone to finally get thrown in prison, but I think us on the right are getting tired of waiting because we all voted Trump back in because he made a promise to get these people. Now, he did clean out the border. He is sending them back to the countries they came from, so he's keeping that.
I just want to see one. I just want to see one.
Just one, yeah.
Throw me one bone.
I agree.
Yeah.
Throw me one bone.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I was going to say, well, maybe he got in and realized that he only is able to do so much. But I don't want to say that because he does, he does do things. He does get things done.
Look, Dave, I understand what you're saying. But if America is supposed to be the land of law and accountability, what are we telling these kids out here? That you can do a crime and run the time out, or you can do a crime and you might get away with it if you get caught. What signal are we sending when at the highest level there's no accountability. Just like kids are
Yeah.
mourning over Charlie Kirk, they observe what's going on. The kids aren't as naive
No.
as some people would, like them to be.
No.
They intake a lot. They intake a lot,
Yeah.
and they
32.
filter a lot.
I think it was 32,000 new Turning Point chapters are ready to rock and roll. And I think it was within 3 days, 2 million young Democrats came over to our side. So
Well, that's good. That's
to me
great.
that's a serious turning point. But again, when are they gonna be active and do things? I can't tell you. I mean, if I could go down and arrest everybody, I probably would, but I probably wouldn't see you again if I did.
I just I don't
I know
understand.
it's
Don't
I,
get me wrong. Everything the man is doing is all well and good. I'm happy with the job performance. I'm elated with all of the progress that he's made in this country.
yeah,
But that ain't what this is about. That it's like you got a superstar athlete, and he's just the superstar of the team, and everybody loves him, and he scores every night, and he just isn't. But then he does something. Well, guess what? All that good shit you done, that's all well and good. Them trophies, all that's well and good. But we dealing right now with saying here, why did you do boo boo?
yeah.
Okay? And that's what this is. And I just want one just to give me some faith. Maybe it's just me. I don't know if anybody else is thinking the same way.
But then the question comes back with the Democrats sat on this from 2006 to 2008, had the paperwork ready to go arrest people. And my question was, I wish I was a senator because I would have, even though I would have been on our side, I would have said during my time, if they all had this stuff during their time, 2006 to 2008, they sat and didn't do squat. Why aren't we going after them for doing squat? I mean, yes, we have to nail the people who were guilty, but why can't we start, if we have to, with the people who had the information and didn't do their job?
Look, what about the people that lied to the FISA courts?
Yeah,
Give me somebody.
they should be doing it. The presidents, chairman of the boards, whatever you want to call them, of the pharmaceutical companies that make the vaccines, that knew this stuff was going to do whatever it's doing. I mean, Moderna has been nailed for they were producing vaccines 2 years before we knew.
I'm talking politicians. I ain't
Well,
talking corporations.
I understand, but corporations are doing the same thing and getting away with it.
Well, that's
So
what the politicians are letting them. So if we can deal with the politicians, we can eventually cycle it through the corporations.
we should. But I guess I kind of keep coming back to the same point. If they knew about this stuff in 2006, 7, and 8 and didn't do anything about it, their justice departments didn't do anything about it, why aren't we talking to them to find out why you didn't do anything? We hear that a lot of the stuff shouldn't be released because it's kiddie porn and this and that. If it's kiddie porn, just go nail the guy. And then you guys can sit in the courtroom and nail him for kiddie porn, or the lady, nail her for kiddie porn.
Hey, I guess I've come to this conclusion. When it comes to the government, they're going to play whatever game they're going to play. And us as the American citizens, because I can guarantee it, just by the feedback that I got,
Okay.
There's not enough to stand up and ask
I,
to genuinely, see some accountability. Um, it's like they want to call you a traitor and this and that. So it's like just the same ones that the left have gotten to just obey everything they want them to. I guess we have some of those on the right also. I try to look at things objectively,
I want to hope that
and
we don't, but we probably do.
I know I wasn't
You know?
hearing things. I was hearing accountability. I just want to see
Mhm.
one. And then I can rest easy knowing that there will be more to follow.
Mhm.
I mean, it'd be one thing if we knew that it'd be one thing if we knew they didn't know what was done to them. They know exactly what was done to them.
Mhm.
Y'all the ones coming on TV talking about it got to the point. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I guess I just
Well,
gotta sit
no,
back
I
and
mean,
wait.
late, mainstream media is going to do what they're told to do. We don't seem to have any mainstream media source that I know of that does what we need them to do. Or as Michael Anthony would probably say if he was sitting here on with us, it's time for us to be the media and keep telling the story because at some point somebody in charge of what's going on is going to listen to or see, you know, now there's a bunch of people
What
that
do you
want the
mean?
answers.
Somebody in charge.
Why
Trump is the head man. Trump is the head man in
somebody
charge.
okay, but he's the head man in charge. But as you said, he hasn't
But
nailed
no, I don't think it's from
anybody.
lack of trying, because every time he turns around to do something, there is some judge, some liberal
Mhm.
judge in some liberal city that puts the stompers on it and forces him to take it to another court to get them to vote the other guy down or to work it all the way to the Supreme Court. So every time he tries to do something, he has to go to fucking court. I'm sorry, go to the court and fight it,
You
and
know,
it takes time. I
We're talking about two different things, obviously.
well,
Can't no
no.
can't no court protect nobody from high crimes, misdemeanor, and treason. Ain't no court can do that.
they can't. But what Randy I think is saying is that they got a Democrat liberal judge who says no, you can't do that. Then they go
Yeah.
to another court and
Well,
they
you
get
know what?
another
You know
Democrat
what?
liberal
Let's see
judge.
somebody get to first base. Let's see
Well,
somebody get to
what I'm
first
saying
base
is
then.
right. Well, we should say to that judge who says, no, you can't do it. Okay, sorry, why can't we do it? Because I'm a liberal Democrat judge, and in my courtroom, I enforce the law. Well, you're not enforcing the law. It's no longer your courtroom. Send us into the next one or find out what their reason was for not letting us proceed any further. And we have to keep doing that until finally we get one judge who says,
Somebody, somebody,
okay,
somebody,
this is
somebody, because it don't say if you if it's one party or the other. Somebody, Randy, pull up the definition. Pull up the high crimes, misdemeanors, and treason. What is the punishment? Is it whatever depending on does it say depending on jurisdiction, depending on judge? I mean, last time what high crimes and misdemeanor, what's the penalty for treason? D- Does it say you can commit treason depending on what court
Okay.
circuit it goes in and something
High
like
cr-
that?
high crimes, misdemeanors refer to serious offenses that can lead to impeachment of government officials, including the president. According to the Constitution, this term encompasses treason, bribery, and other serious abuses of power. Um, you want to know what the let's see, what is the ba-bum.
right. So if a judge says, no, you can't do what you want to do because I say, no, you can't do it, then obviously you have to remove that judge and find another judge. And if he says or she says the same thing, they're gone. And unfortunately, yes, it does add time until you find one who says,
well, let's start the process.
The textbook definition of treason
then pick
is
pick
this.
somebody to start.
And if you're
pick somebody
guilty
to start
of this,
the process on.
you're guilty.
Because it does me no good to sit here and talk about that. Let them find somebody. Let them get somebody first, and then we'll see what it's like.
One of the guys on the list that I guess they did bust, and they found a whole bunch of child porn on. I guess they never nailed him
these
for
people.
it. When Trump found out, they arrested the guy. No one has given the guy's name, but evidently Patel is saying, Trump said to Patel, I guess, he's guilty of this. Go get him. They did, and they nailed him. Where he is, I don't know. Why? Because people, I can't answer the question.
These people destroyed lives. General Flynn, Bannon, Roger Stone, anybody affiliated. Look, I just want one. And I don't know what the process will be like, but just get one. And let's see what the process is like. Because at the end of the day, the last stop is the Supreme Court.
But what if it gets to the Supreme Court and they say, no, you can't do this. The Constitution doesn't allow you to do this.
Doesn't allow you to do what? Lock up people for high crimes, misdemeanors, and treason?
I guess so, yeah. Because
it's in the Constitution.
If the lower courts are saying, no, I understand that. But if the lower courts are saying, no, you can't do it.
That's why you have a chain of command. That's why it goes up to the Supreme Court.
Right.
Dave. The lower courts can say whatever they want to say. I understand. But once it gets, they're just.
But there's a change that has to be made in the process, because from what I understand, the Supreme Court decides every year in advance what they're going to hear the next year. And whatever they don't want to hear, they just don't want to hear it. They throw it back to the lower court. You guys have to run it through the lower court and see if you can work it out.
This is something on a totally different level, though.
I understand. I understand what you're saying. There's a thing called the Constitution. I'm just making an example. Here's this thing called the Constitution.
Are we forgetting how quickly and how many times they impeached Donald Trump? It don't take long, bro. The process don't take long. If you're adamant and you want to get it through, you can do it. You see how many times, you see how much heartache they gave Trump with that shit? Right. So don't tell me they can't do it.
But do you see how much heartache they're giving Adam Schiff for being the head guy in the House during both of those impeachments? And basically,
hey, look,
they haven't arrested him.
I don't know why.
I don't either. Then they say he's guilty of mortgage fraud. He could land 120 years if he got the max. He could get 120 years in prison for the mortgage fraud. Well, it should be. Then why isn't he serving whatever time you're going to give him?
They got about 12 different investigations going on right now. Okay.
They have too many investigations going on.
Exactly. So
and everybody's crossed, and everybody's. But no, you're right.
It all sounds good.
The Supreme Court, if that's where it's going to end up with Adam Schiff, should be looking at the paperwork, going, as far as we're concerned, you qualify for 120 years in prison. Boom, you're gone. If he appeals it and it's reduced, or goes to the Supreme Court and it's reduced, that's all up to them. But the bottom line is, don't tell me that we got a guy who's guilty of crimes that no one else in America can do and has 120 years over his head. Nail him for that. And while he's
So
nailing it there for that, find
I
everything
guess
else and nail him
I
for
guess
it.
Nancy Pelosi never did anything wrong. I guess everything they were saying she was doing was a bunch of BS because she's still walking
They're
around.
still,
So
well, yeah, well, I agree with you because when she gets asked by all the famous top-notch reporters who know what's going on, why did you do what you do? She says, I didn't do it. We're not going to discuss it because I didn't do it.
well,
Why
maybe
is
she
it?
didn't.
Well,
Maybe
so
she
then
didn't.
why? So then why isn't she? Forget about all the lower courts working their way up. Why doesn't it go to the Supreme Court so that the Supreme Court once and for all can look
Hey,
at everything she's accused of doing and say, "You did it. Goodbye. You're
hey,
going away,"
obviously,
or "No,
ob-
you didn't do it,
hey,
and you're okay."
obviously, maybe they haven't done all the stuff that my peoples was telling me they did because they still walking
Well,
around. I mean,
they,
I don't
but
know.
but if they got away with the stuff that they're still walking around from doing, maybe maybe the point is they did it. I mean, I guess we have the wrong people doing the investigations, or they're just sending us off in different directions while they do their job.
I hope
So
that's the
that
case.
so they could. So do I. So do I. I mean, it's like I said at the beginning. I don't want to hear that President Trump's name is in there anymore for anything he did. I want to know if anything he did is illegal. And if it is, I want him to admit that it was illegal and go get
Hey,
and go
obviously,
get.
I'm
But
getting ready to get to the point where nobody did nothing wrong.
well, that's what it's looking like because nobody's talking. Nobody on either side is talking. That's why I said also at the beginning, does it always look like Kash Patel and some committee are yelling back and forth at each other? Him and Cory Booker. They're yelling back and forth at each other like they're going to jump their chairs and beat the shit out of each other right then and there. Then when the cameras are off, are they shaking hands and having a good time and going out and having a beer? Like one time we got tickets to a WWE fight, and we watched Ric Flair literally beat the shit out of Hulk Hogan with a metal chair. Then we were at the exit when they came out because someone had gotten us to be able to meet both of them, and they're laughing and holding hands and shoulders and having a good old time walking out. I looked at him and I said, if someone hit me that many times with a chair, they'd be carrying my body out. And Hulk looked at me and he said, I'm going to show you. And he laid down on the ground, and Flair stood over him. And every time he threw a punch or went to hit him, Hogan kicked the mat. So you thought he got the shit beat out of them. This whole thing is just it's just to get guys like you and I going and get us off of going and doing what we should
No,
be
no,
doing.
no, no.
Because
I'm
if
doing
we went
I'm
out,
it don't get me going off nowhere. It got me doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing.
right, right, and if more of us went and did exactly that and said, hey, this is what we got, then maybe more and more people in America will go, hey, I listened to Ray. I thought about what Ray said. I agree with what Ray said. They watched somebody else. Yeah, I agree with what he said too. Mesh it all together, and before you know it, there's a hundred gazillion of us who are saying that the government doesn't run us. We run the government. We should be telling the government, either shit or get off the pot. You know,
Oh, I don't know.
it's mind blowing to me also because again, you look at Maxine Waters. She's been wrong for as many years as she's been in the Senate. She doesn't even in the House. I mean, she doesn't even live in her district. You don't live in the district. How can you represent the district? It's wrong. Oh, well, the House says you only have to live in the area that you want to represent while you're running. So Adam Schiff is using that as his excuse. If I live in Maryland and I want to serve in California, I only have to make it look like I live in California. Once I get elected, I can live anywhere I want. No, I don't want to hear that anymore. I don't care. I don't want to hear that anymore. Because if I want to get elected from the district I live in Florida, I have to be in that district. I have to live in that district. I have to have my offices in that district. I have to have a place to live when I'm in Washington, D.C., but so does everybody else.
I don't know.
I mean, I don't care if you own a $6 million home in Maryland, or I was going to say 600 square feet home, but it's evidently a huge, beautiful home. I don't care if that's where you live in Maryland, because that serves your purpose when you're there.
Well, obviously, Adam Schiff didn't do anything wrong either, because he's still walking around.
Obviously he did. But if you or I did the same thing, did the same mortgage fraud and bank fraud that he's accused of,
I think I'm gonna do a show.
I
think I'm gonna do a show on that. Obviously, they did nothing wrong.
Obviously, if it is, I'll be the first person to be on that show with you and go, it must be. It must be. But I remember my grandfather sitting me on his knee when I was a lot younger and say, you can be anything you want in the United States of America because you are here. Go out and do whatever you want. He meant go find the job that you want and do it forever and be the best at it. Obviously, Adam Schiff has done a great job of being a liar, or hasn't come out before us and said, I didn't do this. Here's what I did. They're saying that I did. But I didn't do it. The onus isn't
on Adam Schiff.
No, it isn't. But maybe one day that's what it's going to become, because, yeah, it's like you said, obviously, if you are able to, you can break every single law in the United States. And if that's true, why do we have laws?
What it boils down to is the Democrats have enough judges, enough lawyers in place across the country that allows the Democrats to do whatever the hell they want, get away with it. You get someone like Trump or someone of Trump's friends who did nothing more than stand up for Trump. They get arrested. They're thrown into prison. They have to fight to the tooth and nail with all the money, selling off all their properties to pay for the lawyers to prove their innocence, when the Democrats themselves don't have to worry about doing that because they have enough people in place to keep them safe and sound.
So maybe what Trump and Pam Bondi should have done the first day in her office at the Department of Justice as Attorney General is found every single Democrat judge in the country and said, you're out of here. And if any of them came to her,
y'all make it sound like there's no conservative judges. They can't find no conservative domains to put it in. Listen. But if this administration is the one on the attack, the suspect doesn't get to choose their jurisdiction. So
they don't, but they've done that.
It goes back to my first. It goes back to my first point. Can we get to that process? Can we get to that point? Because we can't. Yes, I don't deal with the nuances. We should, because we don't know if it would. We don't know if it'll end up in a conservative judge's court, and we don't know if it'll send in liberal.
If they're claiming that you broke the law, even Pam Bondi, if she's claiming that you broke the law and you broke the law,
let's get to first base.
In Naples, Florida, then you have to be tried in Naples, Florida, and you have to be convicted. Not you get bussed over to New York, because that's the only place we can find a judge.
I mean, I think Donald Trump is like 9-0 in the Supreme Courts. So the Supreme Court is conservative. So I don't see them switching up on right and wrong in America now. So let's get the ball rolling. That's all I'm saying.
I don't either. Right. So a lot of this should just automatically go to, I guess what I'm saying is maybe there should be, at this point, you bypass the lower courts and you send it right to the Supreme Court.
I don't even know about
They're
that.
either going to say, well, okay.
Even if that's a possibility, let's just get the ball rolling.
Right. But let's get the ball rolling. Let's find the one who we say is guilty, try them, and do it. Like you said, it's right. Because as soon as you nail the first one, they're either going to turn.
Wait a minute.
And become a
we don't have to find them. They told us who they were.
Okay. I understand that. But they're going to go and nail that person, and that person, Hillary Clinton doesn't want to hang. So obviously she's going to nail everybody she can. Plus she said that if I go down, you're all going down with me.
They just left them people alone.
You know,
so it is what it is. It is what it is.
They
but
did.
It ain't going to keep. It ain't going to keep me from voicing my frustration over the situation.
Well, no. You're 100% right. But yeah, those people are playing the game. They're all as guilty as sin. They went and found lawyers that are guilty as sin. They went and found judges that are guilty as sin, and nothing happened. Hillary Clinton broke the email law of what you're allowed to do and what you're not allowed to do. And Barack Obama is the one who said the law. He said you can carry your own cell phone along with your government-issued cell phone, and you can use your personal cell phone. But everything on your personal cell phone has to be recorded and captured like it's supposed to be so that we have a record of it, so that if you're breaking the law, we know you're breaking the law. The guy at the State Department who was handling that never did it. Why? Because he didn't want to. Why? Because she probably gave him a reason as to why.
Oh, it wasn't nothing but texts to her daughter while she was at college and stuff like that.
Well, that's what got turned into us. But figure if there were 33,000 pages of stuff that got turned into us that was bullshit, you got to figure there's 33,000 pages that got away from us.
It is what it is. Well, gentlemen, I'm going to get ready to hop off here.
Same here. Yeah, me too.
And it was a pleasure, as always.
Hey, it always is. And I hope I wasn't too hard on you, but you're 100% innocent, and I'm sentencing you to a life of doing this.
Understand
forever.
one thing. I'm a child of God. No man can ever be too hard on me.
I personally don't think God is as negative as we are told by pastors and other people in our churches, rabbis, whatever. I think when you sit with God, he wants to hear, he knows what you did. So he wants to hear you say it, and he wants to see how you feel about it and all of this other stuff. And then, like your grandfather, her great-grandfather, you're going to sit on his lap, like you're sitting in the Lincoln Memorial. You're going to sit on his lap, and he's going to go, you know, you did wrong. You just told me I did wrong. I don't want you to do it again.
I got to go.
Good night.
Okay. All right, guys. Thank you very much for coming. Randy Rhodes from All Roads Lead to Home Genealogy. You know him. You love him. It's $100 a month. Right now, he lowered the price. If you're looking for a genealogy service, please go talk to him. He'll find information that you can't find. He's very good at what he does. Ray from the Patriots Lab, whenever you see him on, watch him. Okay? And you will learn stuff. You might not like stuff that you're learning, and you might like stuff that you're learning, but watch him, and you will learn stuff. Michael Anthony is the same way. We had Michael on the other day by phone. I didn't have enough time to set that up, or I would have done it if I knew he was coming. And he's 100% honest that we need to be the ones, the citizen journalists, as we are all called. We're just people. We just need to get together and say, hey, or just do it. Just walk into these buildings in mass and just say, this is what we're doing. And if they won't let us into the building, shut off the access that they have. They can stay in the building, but you can't do the job. And why they don't want to do the job for us the way the job was meant to be, that's what you need to do. And yes, going in and firing every Democrat judge is extreme, because there may be Democrat judges in there that agree with, the way enforcing the law, the way the law is supposed to be enforced. Obviously it's not enforced the right way when you as a judge let an illegal immigrant out of your court because he's going to be arrested by ICE. Or the male judge who had a guy working for him. He ended up getting arrested. She ended up getting arrested. What happened? The lady's not back on the court. I don't know what happened to the guy judge. Missy Baumüller from Connecticut, our cousin. I'm glad to see you watching. I hope you learned something. I hope we did something right. Michael Anthony, the same thing. David Navarro, always a pleasure to see you here. I know that Michael is writing stuff again. He had a computer issue the other night, but I had planned on having him on the phone anyway. But hopefully he'll come in and give us his take on things from time to time. We're on Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 10 o'clock Eastern to about 11 o'clock Eastern. Tuesday, Thursday, we're on at 7 p.m. And usually we're off by 8 o'clock because General Hospital comes on and we want to watch that. My wife and my daughter-in-law are off doing a evening crochet event, and they're not home tonight, so that was why we didn't worry about it. They should be home shortly, but we did do 7:30 this morning, only because one of my tablets that I'm using as my Facebook monitor right now is 10.1 inches, and I wanted to see what Restream looked like on a 10.1 inch screen and wanted to see what I looked like. And then we did, I don't know, about another 25 minutes worth of a broadcast. So if you feel this way, you agree, you come into a live chat and you agree, come on and tell us. If you don't agree with us, come on and tell us. The only thing I will tell you is that if you're like Barry Nolan, who was a hotshot Democrat, thought he was going to come in and tell us the law and yell at everybody, you will be off. Don't let me yell at you. I won't yell at you. You won't yell at me. If we agree to disagree. That's what it is. We agree to disagree. So come on into my home, break bread with us, and we'll list out what we all agree on and hang on a second. What we all agree on and tell us. We will, hold on. That was a little hard. Tell us what we all agree on. But that would be great to know. And then work on what we don't agree on and try to get all of that fixed as quickly as we can. And it's going to take some effort. This country is worth saving. And if you believe that it's going down the tubes, then it's time to do something about it. And if you don't believe that it's going down the tubes, then it's perfectly fine. Then you don't have anything to do. You can keep going the way you're going. And when a dozen eggs costs you $25 and a loaf of bread costs you $25 and a steak costs you $250, we're doing something wrong. Gasoline should not be tied in. The price of gas should not be tied into the political state of the world, period. Supply and demand. And if you want to raise it up to $15 a gallon and not be able to sell it, that's okay. You want to drop it down to 75 cents a gallon, and then at some point raise it up to $1 a gallon, and then get a raise every once in a while because you need it, then okay. When I got my license, I was 17. It was a Monday. It was 75 cents a gallon, and I think my dad gave me a $20 bill and told me to fill the car. And then said your license, your allowance is going up $20, so that you can make sure you and your brother get to school every day and get home every day. And but that's my point. I don't know why gas is $3, $4, $5, $6 or more a gallon. I really don't. I'm glad that I'm not working in one of those states because I'd go out of my mind. I mean, one time in Mass when it went up to about $4 a gallon, I never kept more than half a tank in my SUV because I just couldn't afford to do it. Just could not afford to do it. But anyway, I'm not supposed to talk about stuff that I did a long time ago because nobody wants to hear it. Nobody cares. I understand. But I'm a 63-year-old guy, and will always tell you about something based on either what I know or trying to cover for what I don't know, because I don't know everything. I like to think that I do, but I don't. I only know what I know because I spend about 18 hours a day looking at a screen and try to pass it around. Today on Facebook, I could not share anything. I don't know why. I looked at everything that I shared before they nailed me to try to find out the one post that might have led to it, but there is nothing there. There's nothing in my support inbox. You did this wrong, or we're mad at you. Just, we've decided today you can't share because you share too much. I got a whole bunch of groups. What's my answer to that? I try to make sure the group newsletters are fresh and are going. So I'm always sharing stuff. Used to be when I first became a group owner on Facebook, you could read the Facebook news feed and write the news feed for all of your groups without ever having to leave. Those days are gone. But anyway, I'm Dave Goulden. You're not. You're live on my profile on Facebook. You're live on the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel. If you go over to YouTube and you search Boogie with the Bull, it will bring you to the channel. It may not bring you to the exact episode that we're on. Sometimes you have to look. Sometimes it brings you right to what you're there to look. So you have to sometimes fish your way around the channel to be sure you watch the latest, or just watch them all until you get down to the one that you're looking for. Some of them are pretty funny, some of them are pretty sad, and but that's what we do. But before I go, one more time, we're here Monday, Wednesday, Friday. No, excuse me, not Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We're here Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, and we are here Tuesday, Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern. About an hour. We went a little over tonight. We're at an hour and a half. But come be with us. If you have something you want to do, you want to present to everybody on the internet, tell me when you want to do it, and we will do our best to work you in and do it. And if you decide you like what we're doing and you want to do it, then be with us. Randy Rhodes came out of nowhere and worked with us off and on. And now it's on. And so did everybody, a lot of other people. But come and have a good time. Just a bunch of people talking. We don't judge you, and you don't judge us. And that's what we do. Anyway, like I said, with Michael Anthony, make sure you go to the Michael Anthony page and read his words of wisdom, because he's not doing posts right now. At least I am led to believe that he is not doing post videos right now. So go and read what you can. Go and watch whatever you can find that he did before. And watch Jim Price, the Jim Price Daily Show update. Jim Price Show Daily Update. I forget. It's something like that. But if you search Jim Price and you look for kind of a heavy football player with a beard, go to that page and you can watch him. I tell people from 4 p.m. Eastern time to 6 p.m. It's actually an hour earlier because he's in Kansas, but I'm not going to tell you that. Go watch at 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. and you'll be able to watch it, especially if you're on the East Coast. The American Rebellion, Jerry Michaels and Company, go watch them. There's a bunch of guys and gals talking about what's wrong with this country and how we can fix it, and talking about sometimes what's wrong with themselves and how we can help them fix it. And so go watch them Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday at 7 p.m. Who else? I can't think of anybody, so I'm going to go and you're going to go because it's an hour and a half, and that's a little bit too long. So class is dismissed. I want to thank you for watching. Tomorrow is Friday. We will be on about 10 o'clock and go for about an hour. We do Red Friday tomorrow, where we salute the men and women of the United States military, along with the men and women of ICE, the men and women right now of the National Guard, the men and women of local and state law enforcement, because they have a very tough job to do. Okay? We won't argue that you think what they're doing is illegal. They have a very tough job to do, and I like to give them support on Fridays. So wear a red shirt if you can, or something with red in it, and be a part of that broadcast. We start with that, then we go through like we did today: politics, news of the day, everything America, plus whatever comes out of our mouths.